From translation, ISV International Standard Version, this 134th day of the year, today we are reading passages 2 Chronicles 30-17, 2 Chronicles chapter 13, verses 1 to 22. In the 18th year of King Jeroboam, Abijah became king over Judah. He reigned for 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Micaiah, the daughter of Uriel of Gibeah. Now there was war between Abijah and Jeroboam. Abijah went out to battle with an army of 400,000 select troops, and Jeroboam deployed against him 800,000 select troops. Then Abijah stood on Mount Zemaraim, which is in the hill country of Ephraim, and said, Jeroboam and all Israel, listen to me. Don't you know that the Lord, the God of Israel, has given the kingdom to David and his descendants forever by a covenant of salt? Yet Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, the servant of Solomon, son of David, rose up and rebelled against his Lord. Then worthless scoundrels gathered around him, rebels against Rehoboam, son of Solomon, when Rehoboam was young and timid and could not withstand them. And now you plan to resist the kingdom of the Lord, which is in the hands of David's descendants, because you are a great multitude, and have with you the golden calves that Jeroboam made for you as gods. Have you not driven out the priests of the Lord, the descendants of Aaron and the Levites, and appointed your own priests, just like the peoples of other lands? Anyone who comes to consecrate himself with a young bull or 7 rams becomes a priest of what are not gods. But as for us, the Lord is our God, and we have not abandoned him. The priests who minister to the Lord are descendants of Aaron, and the Levites assist them. They offer burnt offerings to the Lord every morning and every evening, along with burnt offerings and grain offerings on the Sabbaths, new moons, and appointed festivals. The silver and gold that has been dedicated to God by anyone, along with any dedicated gifts, are in the treasury of the Lord. But look, God is with us as our leader, and his priests are with us to sound the battle trumpets against you. People of Israel, don't fight against the Lord, the God of your ancestors, for you will not succeed. But Jeroboam had set an ambush to come from the rear, so that Israel was in front of Judah, and the ambush was behind them. When Judah turned around, they saw the battle array coming against them from the front and rear. They cried out to the Lord, and the priests sounded the trumpets. Then the men of Judah gave a shout, and as the men of Judah shouted, God defeated Jeroboam and all Israel before Abijah and Judah. The Israelites fled before Judah, and God gave them over to them. Abijah and his army inflicted a severe defeat on them with a great slaughter, so that 500,000 select troops of Israel fell slain. The men of Israel were subdued at that time, and the men of Judah prevailed because they relied on the Lord, the God of their ancestors. Abijah pursued Jeroboam and captured some cities from him, Bethel with its villages, Jeshanah with its villages, and Ephron with its villages. Jeroboam did not regain power during the rest of Abijah's days. The Lord struck him down and he died, but Abijah grew strong. He took 14 wives for himself and fathered 22 sons and 16 daughters. The rest of the acts of Abijah, his ways, and his words are written in the commentary of the prophet Iddo. 2 Chronicles chapter 14, verses 1 to 15. Abijah died, and he was buried in the city of David. His son Asa became king in his place, during which the land was peaceful for 10 years. Asa did what was right in the sight of the Lord, as his ancestor David had done. He removed the foreign altars and the high places, smashed the sacred pillars, cut down the Asherim, and commanded Judah to seek the Lord, the God of their ancestors, and to keep his statutes and his commandments. He also removed the high places and the incense altars from all the cities of Judah. The kingdom had peace under him. He built fortified cities in Judah, since the land was at peace, and no war was being waged against him during those years, because the Lord had given him rest. He said to Judah, Let us build these cities and surround them with walls, towers, gates, and bars. The land is still ours because we have sought the Lord our God. We have sought him, and he has given us rest on every side. So they built and prospered. Asa had an army of 300,000 from Judah, armed with large shields and spears, and 280,000 from Benjamin, armed with small shields and spears. All these were brave warriors. Zerah the Ethiopian marched out against them with an army of 1,000,000 men and 300 chariots, and came as far as Maashah. Asa went out to meet him, and they took up battle positions in the valley of Zephathah near Maashah. Then Asa called to the Lord his God, Lord, there is no one besides you to help in the battle between the powerful and the weak. Help us, O Lord our God, for we rely on you, and in your name we have come against this multitude. O Lord, you are our God, do not let mortal man prevail against you. The Lord struck down the Cushites before Asa and before Judah, and the Cushites fled. Asa and the people who were with him pursued them as far as Gerar, and the Cushites fell until none remained alive, for they were shattered before the Lord and before his army. The people who were with them carried off very many spoils. They attacked all the cities around Gerar, for the terror of the Lord had fallen on them. They plundered all the cities, for there was much plunder in them. They also attacked the tents of the livestock, and carried off many sheep and camels. Then they returned to Jerusalem. 2 Chronicles chapter 15, verses 1 to 19. The Spirit of God came upon Azariah son of Obed, and he said to Asa, "Listen to me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you when you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you, but if you forsake him, he will forsake you. For a long time Israel was without the true God, without a teaching priest, and without law. But when they were in distress and turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, he was found by them. In those times there was no peace for anyone who went out or came in, because the great disorders afflicted all the inhabitants of the lands. Nation was crushed by nation and city by city, for God troubled them with every kind of distress. But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded." When Asa heard these words and the prophecy of Azariah son of Obed, he took courage and removed the abominable idols from all the cities of Judah and Benjamin, and from the cities that he had captured in the hill country of Ephraim. He restored the altar of the Lord that was in front of the vestibule of the Lord. Then he gathered all Judah and Benjamin, and the people from Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon who were residing with them, because they had been loyal to the Lord God of their ancestors. They assembled in Jerusalem in the 3rd month of the 15th year of Asa's reign. They sacrificed to the Lord at that time 700 oxen and 7,000 sheep from the plunder they had brought back. They entered into a covenant to seek the Lord God of their fathers with all their heart and soul, and whoever would not seek the Lord God of Israel would be put to death, whether small or great, man or woman. They swore an oath to the Lord with a loud shout, with trumpets and horns. All Judah rejoiced over the oath, for they had sworn with all their heart and had sought him with their whole desire, and he was found by them. So the Lord gave them rest on every side. Even Maacah, his mother, King Asa removed from being queen mother because she had made a repulsive image for Asherah. Asa cut down her repulsive image, crushed it, and burned it in the Kidron Valley. The high places were not removed from Israel, but Asa's heart was loyal all his days. He brought the silver and gold and the utensils of the house of God into the treasuries of the Lord, as his father Asa had done. There was no more war until the 35th year of Asa's reign. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verses 1 to 14. In the 36th year of Asa's reign, King Baasha of Israel went up against Judah and fortified Ramah to prevent anyone from going out or coming in to Asa, king of Judah. Asa then took silver and gold from the treasuries of the Lord's house and from the royal palace, and sent them to Ben-Hadad king of Aram, who lived in Damascus, saying, "Let there be a treaty between you and me, as there was between my father and your father. Look, I am sending you silver and gold. Break your treaty with King Baasha of Israel, so that he will withdraw from me." Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel. They attacked Ijon, Dan, Abel-Beth-Maacah, and all Chinneroth, as well as the land of Naphtali. When Baasha heard this, he stopped building Ramah and withdrew to Tirzah. Then King Asa brought all Judah, and they carried away the stones and timber of Ramah, with which Baasha had been building. King Asa built with them Geber of Benjamin and the fortress of Mizpah. At that time Hanani, the seer, came to Asa king of Judah and said to him, "Because you relied on the king of Aram and did not rely on the Lord your God, the army of the king of Aram has escaped from your hand. Were not the Cushites and Libyans a vast army, with very many chariots and horsemen? Because you relied on the Lord, he gave them into your hand. For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to show himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is fully his. You have done a foolish thing, and from now on you will have wars." Asa was enraged at the seer and put him in prison, because he was so angry over what he had said. Asa also oppressed some of the people at that time. The acts of Asa from first to last are written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa became diseased in his feet. Yet his disease was severe, but he did not seek the Lord, but only the physicians. In the 41st year of Asa's reign, Asa died and was buried with his ancestors in the city of his father David. Then Jehoshaphat his son succeeded him as king. They buried him in his own tomb that he had made for himself in the city of David. They laid him on a bed that had been filled with spices and various kinds of prepared ointments, and they made a very great fire for him. 2 Chronicles chapter 17, verses 1 to 19. Jehoshaphat his son succeeded him and strengthened himself against Israel. He placed troops in all the fortified cities of Judah and set garrisons in the land of Judah, as well as in the cities of Ephraim that his father Asa had captured. The Lord was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the first ways of his ancestor David, and did not seek the Baals but sought the God of his father and walked in his commandments, and did not act like Israel. So the Lord established the kingdom in his hand, and all Judah brought tribute to Jehoshaphat, and he had great wealth and honor. His heart was devoted to the ways of the Lord, and he again removed the high places and the Asherim from Judah. In the 3rd year of his reign, he sent his officials, Ben-Hail, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nethanel, and Micah, to teach in the cities of Judah along with the Levites, Shemaiah, Nesaniah, Zebediah, Asahel, Shemiramoth, Jehanathan, Adonijah, Tobijah, and Tobadonijah, and the priests Elishama and Jehoram. They taught in Judah, having with them the book of the Lord's law, and they went throughout all the cities of Judah and taught the people. The fear of the Lord fell on all the kingdoms of the lands around them, so that they did not make war with Jehoshaphat. Some of the Philistines brought Jehoshaphat presents and silver as tribute, and the Arabs brought him 7,000 sheep and 7,000 goats. Jehoshaphat became more and more powerful, and he built fortresses and storage cities in Judah. He had great supplies in the cities of Judah, and he had soldiers, mighty warriors, in Jerusalem. This was their enrollment by fathers' houses. Judah had 500,000 chosen men for war who could handle shield and spear. Benjamin had 280,000 who could handle shield and spear. These were the ones who came to David to give him support in Ziklag. There were still soldiers to assist the kingdom of all Judah. To these who were in Jerusalem, Jehoshaphat added another 300,000 from Judah, chosen for war, to handle spear and shield. And 280,000 from Benjamin who were chosen, expert with bow and shield, and these were all mighty warriors. There were 1,160,000 who could handle sword and go to war, besides those whom Judah had sent to the king as his tribute. These were the ones who served the king in all Judah, besides those whom he had placed in the fortified cities throughout all Judah.